Assalamu alaikum, how are you guys? Zunaid again. I'm here with a very famous musician now. It's Zakes. Zakes, welcome. Nice to see you again.
Thank you for
We had a
having me.
nice time chatting just now a few minutes before. And I must tell you, I'm so impressed with Zakes. He's not only a musician. Let me just tell you, he's got a seriously good business mind in there as well. Well done, Zakes. I'm going to tap him for you today so you see what's in his head. Very important, what's in the man's head is unbelievable. He's not just a famous musician now. But Zakes, first tell me,
Thank
on
you.
this beautiful Valentine's Day, I love your shirt.
Thank you so much. That's why.
It's
Yeah, it's
very appropriate.
Valentine's.
So I
Red.
got a bit of red as well in here, but I couldn't wear the full red shirt. Tell me, Zakes, what's been the moment in your career that you felt when you were driving home or alone that I just made this?
I think when I flew back from LA last year after having won a Grammy, that flight from LA to Doha, Qatar, was one of the best flights I've ever been in.
Were you alone?
I was alone. I was I was alone.
Were there chicks there or just
Nah,
just you?
nah. Not
I'm
married.
just clarifying now.
Nah, I'm
just
married.
clarifying.
No, I was just
Now, what did
just
you
alone.
think, Zakes? What did you feel?
I think for me it was like it was I just wish like I was flying back to see my mother, because my mother is late, just to tell her that
Achieved.
I've made it, because I told her that one day I wanted to have a Grammy,
Well, how old were you? Probably
I
very
was
young.
probably like 19.
Wow.
Yeah, so when I went to study music, it was that one day I'm gonna have a Grammy. So I think for me it was like, yo, ma, I wish you were around just for you to
You're making me think about
to
Tupac
just witness
again.
to just
Yo
witness
mama, you know? No,
to just witness what I've become. Yeah.
no, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But myself and Zakes, guys, we were talking about entrepreneurship, and what
Yeah.
came out in our conversation was just unbelievable. Zakes' idea and opinion about entertainment, and I just want to share some of those with you, and then tap into Zakes' mind about this. What he did say to me is that we were talking about the music industry and about entertainment. And he said something so profound. He said, every single day, somehow or the other, whether we're at home, in the car, in the shower, just chilling alone, we're listening to music or we're being entertained. And then he brought up Baby Shark.
Yes.
I mean, Zakes brought up Baby Shark, guys, and he's saying that everybody's listening to Baby Shark more than any other thing in the world. And I remember listening to it this morning with my 3-year-old. He was listening, baby.
Sure.
I don't want to say,
Yeah.
but it was very true because that's part of the entertainment. So we wake up in the morning, we have breakfast and we have a certain meal, great. We go out and we eat more and we have lunch and we have dinner and all of that. But we forget that there's one commodity we're consuming that we don't understand, right?
Of course.
So tell us
Every
more
time.
about your vision about that.
Every time. I think once we look at the music as the commodity, we stop looking at it as an entertainment, and then that's where the change is obviously gone. Because once it becomes a commodity, then you're commodified, then you can export it. Because once you say commodity, then export comes in. Then once export comes in, then GDP kicks in. Then once GDP kicks in, then it tells you as a government, is in a fiscal, that I've got to invest in this business. You
see what he's sorry, Zakes.
Yeah.
Zakes, what he's saying is, as businessmen, we don't realize that we are in the midst of entertainment all the time. If you're sitting and you go out and have a party, music.
Of course.
If you're smoking a cigar, music.
Of
Don't
course.
be smoking, it's bad for you. But if you're having a nice dinner, it's music. If you're in the shower, it's everywhere. Am I right, Zakes?
Yes. I think the power of music, the power of entertainment, actually, not even the music, the power of entertainment, people got to understand it during COVID, when they had nothing to do, and the only thing that they could rely on was their television set and their cell phone to give them information, to entertain them, to entertainment them, and also to just tell them what the world is currently. Because everybody wanted to still connect, and the only way we could connect was through art. That art was the only thing that could connect us everywhere, anywhere we were, and everywhere we were. And I think that's when people really started realizing the power of the art was during COVID.
I hear you. But you know something, you get into a motor vehicle, and paying testament to what Zakes is saying, you get into a car, and you're on your phone, you're chatting to people, etc. And then there's that moment when there's a silence and nothing happening. Where does your finger go? Media.
Yeah.
It says media. You
Yeah.
just don't realize.
Yeah.
It's media. You put it on and then you listen. And amazing, you can have bad news. The share price can be falling somewhere, but your favorite song comes up, and whatever it is, I'm sure it's not Baby Shark.
Yeah.
But let's say your favorite song, and all of a sudden, your whole mood is different. Your whole space is different. It changes the dynamics.
Basic.
But we're not
You've nailed
realizing
it.
what's the value. And as entrepreneurs, I was amazed to hear what he had to say. We're not putting ourselves in a position where we can monetize this thing for South Africa.
Definitely. I mean, I would say at one stage, I don't know if it was, at one stage, Justin Bieber was the biggest export for Canada. In
Really?
every, yeah. Because Justin Bieber, through his music, he sold and made more money for the government of Canada than any other product that came out of Canada.
Wow, I didn't know.
So which therefore means his music was one of the perhaps top 5 of the most
An asset.
assets.
A big asset.
Definitely, you know, and like I was saying all on off the camera, that in South Africa we have a company which is not owned by a South African, but the story is South African in the name of Lion King. That is a South African story that has been in Broadway America ever since I was perhaps maybe now it's probably 20 years, and yet Sarafina, which was there for like 10 years. So when you take maybe 20 years of Lion King and 10 years of Sarafina, that's 30 years of South African export in America.
But not owned by South Africa.
But not owned by. But now ask yourself this question: how much money in terms of ticket sales they've made in the past 30 years? And who's making that money and where that money is going? And then you ask yourself, if that was a South African production and those dollars
how could it
had to
benefit
get,
us?
that dollars probably they would be benefiting a lot in terms of taxpayers' money. But now the thing is, Americans realize that they needed to invest. So that's why there has to be a change of approach when it comes to the arts, the creative industry. And I'm using the word creative industry on purpose. I'm not saying that the creative industry, because it is an industry in itself. In 2017, 2018, the creative industry was the biggest employer, surpassing the mining industry in South Africa.
And that's an entrepreneur. When an artist starts his or goes out to sell his creativeness, it's a business.
Yes.
In its own right. But
yes.
Why I'm hooking onto this, I want to tell you a fact that he told me a few minutes ago about how much money was made at the $7 million.
At the Super Bowl.
At the Super Bowl, it was calculated that $7 million was generated per second.
Yes.
For 2 hours. Now, there's no mining business I know of that makes that money per second. There's no banking business. I don't know if maybe some oil businesses make that. I'm not 100% sure. I doubt it per second.
Yeah.
But the point of what he's trying to tell us is there are industries that are untapped as entrepreneurs. You don't need a job for this. You don't need to go and work somewhere for this. You need to allow your creativity to be monetized. But there is no machine to be able to do that for South African creative people.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So I don't know how much $7 million is for per second for 2 hours, but it's a bloody number, guys.
Yeah.
And the point is that there is value there. And as businessmen, what we're not seeing is what the entertainment industry, or should I say the creative industry is worth in South Africa.
Yes.
So myself and Zakes are going to go on let's call it a think tank. Am I right?
Yes.
We're going to do a think tank with a couple of guys, and we're going to try and formalize a business so that we can bring it into the market to do just that, monetize talent and give back to the talented entrepreneurs in South Africa who need to be exposed and funded.
Yes, definitely. I mean, in South Africa, we have an issue of youth employment.
Yeah.
And the creative industry probably maybe 80% of people who are in that industry are young people.
Yeah.
You know,
There's some old guys,
so
but
yeah, but
mostly
they're,
young.
within 20%. They're within that 20. So 80% are actually young people.
Aspirational. artists.
Aspirational, and then you must understand the creative industry in South Africa is not actually supported, right? But it's still able to employ about 80% of youth in South Africa. Now imagine if it was supported just a little bit. I'm not only talking about the government here. I'm also talking about
Corporate South
Africa coming in, because what maybe the corporate South Africa then will do, like they will only come into the industry to take one person, not to support the rest of the industry. So they will come for Zakes Bantwini to be an ambassador for a certain brand, and that's it. But
Monetize that
exactly, just for Zakes. But they are not into the industry supporting the Summer South African Music Awards, where every artist is there supporting RISA, which is the recording industry of South Africa.
They need to raise money for
every time they need to raise money, every time, because even corporate South Africa, when they come in, they come in for one. So it's like corporate South Africa waits for the industry to generate a superstar, then suddenly they're gonna come from that super.
Like
only
this
just
new
one
Grammy,
superstar. Yeah, I mean they're gonna definitely come for now. It's Tyler. So until next year when another person comes
then
in,
they
then
take that one.
only just take that one. You know,
guys, can you just imagine this from a business perspective? And I'm talking from numbers in business.
Yeah.
There's not one listed company that is purely in the creative space that we're talking about.
Yeah.
But if there were a bunch of businessmen that would support an IPO that was headed and controlled by artists and supported by astute businessmen that had the ability to raise money, and let's talk about raise money. He has, between him and his wife, maybe 5 or 10 million supporters. Or should I say a reach to about 10 million people.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're just talking about this. If 1% of those 10 million people, which is, call it 100,000, crowdfunded into an IPO, just alone with him, 1,000 rand to support their artists and support that vision, it's 100 million rand IPO.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about a small IPO like 100 million, but we're talking bigger. We're talking about being able to institutionalize the creative soul of South Africa and make money off it.
Yeah.
Now, if a guy like me could make money off it, there are more guys like me out there saying, if Moti could do it, maybe we could be involved. And this is my vision with this young man. Yeah.
I think also apart from anything else, I think the IPO is also even contributes or become a very important vehicle for someone who really supports you, also to have a stock on what you do.
A piece of you.
A piece of you.
They want
yeah,
the piece of Zakes. How do I get a
I
piece
love
of Zakes?
I love what Zakes is doing, but apart
I'm going to
from
put 1,000 rand.
you know, because at the end of the year, if we've done well, I'm probably gonna have some of the money or the shares which are coming.
Sure.
You know, I'm probably gonna make 1, 2, or 3, whatever amount of money that I'm gonna make. But how amazing it would be for you, as a person who supports the music, who support that particular artist, and I have a piece of what they're doing.
It makes a lot of sense.
You know?
Guys, this whole ideology, I never thought about it. I must just be honest with you, because we think about metals, we think about commodities, we think about water, electricity, all of those great things. But one of the biggest commodities, as I mentioned before, that we're utilizing every second of our day, or a large portion of our day, is creative industry.
Yes.
So we need to move towards that and support local creative talent.
The music, there's a song, if you are in the car, it is an entertainment, right? It's entertaining you, right? You are in the car. A week later, it is a soundtrack of what had happened a week later.
I got you.
10 years later, it's nostalgic. So every song you're listening to, it marks
a certain time.
No, which you're never gonna retrieve
Zakes,
again.
I must tell you, every time I get in the family private jet,
Yes.
we have a tradition. I listen to Michael Jackson's. What's that song?
Because it reminds you of something probably.
Billie G.
Yes.
I can't even forget that now.
Yes.
Billie G. I just play it, and my sons know, like the little guys, they're like, hey, Dad, it's Billie G time.
Yes.
You know,
and your sons, when they are older,
they're gonna remember.
they're gonna remember that when I was
Billie
young,
G,
my
I
dad
was
used
with
to
the
play
old
this, and they're probably gonna be playing for the. But now Billie Jean is that what it is. That it is such a very important element or a unifier or a commodity in your
Yes,
family.
yes.
You know, nobody could then say, I don't like Billie Jeans because you are saying you don't like what a song that my dad loves. You know what I mean? So it's more than just a song. It's more than just audio.
It's sharing an experience.
It's an
and a
experience,
time,
yeah.
and reminding you. I mean, guys, you know, as you were growing up, every single person out there remembers a song about a certain person, your mother, your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, it's Valentine's Day or whatever, and then you're driving in the car, you broke up 5 years ago, you still maybe love that person, and the song comes on, all of a sudden, I'm not crying in the car, by the way, but you're crying and you're remembering that moment, right? So it has that effect. That commodity is bigger than buying a glass or buying a television.
And it was to us as Africans, because we sing in pain, we sing in joy.
It's very true.
It's even worse. Like we sing in pain, you know, we sing in joy.
Wow.
You know, so we have a song for every occasion. We in South Africa, how do you identify South Africa? By a national anthem. You don't identify them by mines.
No.
They have to say in Nkosi, that's South African. That's melody, that's music. So you identify South African by music first. So to identify a South African, music is to start first and say, oh, that is a South African. Then a flag. Flag and the music, then everything else. Then a president, then whoever. But you cannot identify South African and say, oh, this gold comes from South Africa. No. But when you say Nkosi,
you identify.
then you're like, oh, that's South Africa.
So what is this app that we all listen to on the phone? What is it called?
There's iPhone,
Spotify.
There's Spotify.
Now
there's iTunes and Spotify.
How much time you guys? This is a new thing for me, and I love the whole concept and idea. But how many hours a day are you watching television, listening to music, etc.? You do that old little calculation on yourself, on your own, and then we'll know how much that commodity is worth.
Yeah.
Because right now I think it's undervalued, and right now I think we need a machine or a vehicle in which smart entrepreneurs who are also creative entrepreneurs can benefit out of it. Yeah. So I don't want to take more of your time, brother. Yeah. And thank you very much.
I appreciate something. So Zunaid really supported the vision of us going to the Grammys, and I want to tell you, we were the only suits was a South African suit which we were there.
Just to let you know that we did some support to them. I don't want to get into detail as to what it was. It's unimportant, but we supported them to go to the Grammys and make sure that South Africa is represented. And we're so proud of them because they came back winners once again. Well done, bro.
Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you so much for this. We were invited to go there to enjoy this moment. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the visa in time and all of that stuff, but that's a different story. But it was fantastic for South Africa to be represented for the first time in your suit.
Yes.
And I love the concept. Guys, look forward to a business concept coming out and possibly a much bigger ideology in the business of financing, supporting and monetizing creativity in South Africa. We're going to work together. We're going to come up with a great plan in the next couple of months and see if we can make it fly. Love you lots. Zakes, we're signing out.
Thank you so very much. Like I would say, man, hola, it's Zakes Bantwini signing out. Peace.